Welcome to Mob Tales with Nick Christophers. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for supporting the show. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave comments if you like. Today we have a friend of mine, great actor, good guy, all around street guy, knows his shit. My good friend Al Linea. Al, thanks a lot for coming on. Al, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Yeah, now I see you. Now I see you.
Okay, all right. A minute ago wasn't all there.
What's up, Nick? How you doing, Nick? How's
All
everything, man?
right. Okay, my man, pretty good. Thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate it. I've known you for a couple of years. Uh,
Yeah, long time now, man. I did what, 2006, 2007?
Something like that. So
Yeah.
it's a very, very long time. But I was just telling people prior to us talking that Al's been in the acting game for a long time, since around maybe 2007, I think, around there. So he's
Oh,
been
before that, way before that.
oh way before that. Okay, even further. Um, So we're going to discuss a little bit about his show, but for his work that he's done, and some of them were related to that world, the mob genre. Some weren't. So he's an all-around actor. He's done like everything from being a cop to being a wise guy to doing almost everything. So the one thing I want to ask before we get into some of the projects is your desire to even get into this field to begin with. Where'd you get this movie bug, this acting bug? Where did it happen?
You know what, Nick? I don't know, man. It's always something I wanted to do, bro. Um, I don't know. It was just always this this desire and this passion I have for for the art. You know what I mean?
Well, being that the case, was there anybody who inspired, any actors that inspired you, that made you go onto this path? Was there anybody in particular?
Oh yeah, no one out of the norm. I mean, the regular guys, Travolta, uh, Jack Nicholson, obviously, Pesci, De Niro, but most of all Pacino. Um, you know, Pacino's like my guy.
Yeah, I could imagine. Yeah, no, he's a great actor. He's one of my favorites as well.
Yeah,
Um,
he was a big inspiration, kind of,
but
getting in the game.
was there any particular project that he worked on that triggered that inspiration?
I mean,
I know so many.
besides the obvious, Nick. I mean, outside of the Godfather, I mean, what I'm gonna say something later in his career, like Donnie Brasco. I mean, you know, if you just look at his performances over the years, you know what I mean? Was there a particular one? I don't know. I'm gonna say Godfather. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? Who you tell me what Italian actor out there wasn't inspired by Michael Corleone? Come on. I mean,
Yeah,
if they tell you they weren't, they're full of shit. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But uh, as far as Pacino projects, that was definitely one of them. Serpico. He was good in everything, man.
it was.
He should have won a lot more awards than what he has, right?
Right. Well, it's funny you mentioned Michael Corleone, because Al Pacino wasn't really supposed to get that part. That was just
Yeah, I know.
Francis Coppola fought hard to get him in that movie, because he saw him in another earlier project, which was a nothing to do with nothing mob genre related. If I forgot
Right.
the name of the play or film.
Yeah, right. I think it was a play. I think it was uh it might have been that indie film that they did,
Yeah,
Panic in Needle.
Panic in
Yeah,
Needle Park. Exactly.
yeah. That was
Yeah.
like a cult classic kind of film.
Yeah,
Um,
Coppola saw that and he was like blown away, and he said Pacino's definitely for this part, 100%.
right, right.
And I remember he fought tooth and nail to get him into the film, and he was right. He was right about him 100%. So that is a pretty, that's perfect guy for inspiration. That's for sure.
Yeah, and definitely, and definitely Travolta. You know what I mean? Early Travolta. Grease and Welcome Back Kotter. You know, it, he was a big inspiration too.
Welcome back, Carter.
Definitely say, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely John Travolta.
yeah, mentioning Welcome Back, Carter, you're showing our age here.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
That was a
what are
great
we gonna
show.
do? It's
One of
it's all good. It's all good, Nick. We're healthy. We're alive.
yeah,
We're
knock
talking
on
about
wood.
movies. You know what I mean? And it's
Hmm.
all good, man.
That's right. Well, I've seen you already act many times, and you're very good
Thank
at
you,
what,
Nick.
you're very good at what you do. Like, I mean,
Thank
I
you,
can
Nick.
remember you playing the cop in We Own the Night. That
Yeah.
that was a good role. Where you brought in, I think it was Joaquin Phoenix who played the role, if I'm correct. And
Right, right.
you were bringing him into the station, and he was all bloody. And
Yeah, I mean that was I originally auditioned for like Joaquin Phoenix's best friend, that character that was
yeah,
played by Danny Hatch.
hmm
I didn't get that, but James Gray, the director, he liked me. I mean, listen, it was a small part. It was nothing big. I mean, I do a lot of character stuff, Nick. I'm not gonna, make myself out to be, more than what I am. You know what I mean? As an actor, you got to take what comes, and make the best of it. The hardest part is uh auditioning. It's a tough business, man. I've been doing this a long time, and I've had some memorable moments, you know what I mean, but no, nothing big. I mean, I've done some good work. Am I where I want to be? No, no. As an actor, you're never where you want to be, you know what I mean. So it's just a tough business, man. It's a grind, and it's 99% rejection. And you know what? To get a role like that, even though it was small, to work with Phoenix and Wahlberg at the same time, with James Gray, that was a pretty nice little stuff, as a character actor. You know what I mean? So you know, I uh, I pride myself in my character work, Nick. You know what I mean?
Well, you came pretty far from there. I mean, you went there. That was in 2007, I think. We own the,
Yeah, yeah,
which was a great
right.
movie. I liked it. And then you kind of went from there to, I mean, going from that part to um, Boardwalk Empire when you played Matteo D'Alessio, and you were playing next to Lou Venaria, who's another good friend of mine. And you did a great job with that one as well. Where you had, it was a little more of a bigger role than I think than the cop was.
Yeah, I mean, look, Boardwalk Nick again, man. That was, it was an accomplishment. You know what I mean? Because I got to be on a hit show. In season one. In 5 episodes, 6 episodes, whatever it was. But it was a long time ago. It was like 2010, and I got to work with some great people, man. Buscemi, Michael Williams, Max Casella, Louis Veneri. I love all those guys, man. They're all good friends of mine. I had a great time. You know, the ride was good while it lasted. But I'm the type of actor where I get killed in everything, Nick. You know what I mean? They like to kill me and everything. You know what I mean? So yeah, but Boardwalk was good, man. It was a great experience. It was like a good uh, it was a good way to learn how TV and scripted TV works. You know what I mean? I learned a lot. I learned what to do. I learned what not to do. It
Mhm.
was a good experience, man. I learned a lot and met good people.
Well, bringing that up, I mean, what difference do you see between doing TV and then doing film? Like most people don't know the difference. I mean, non-actors or don't know like, what did you find the difference between the two? Which one is easier and which one is harder?
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna say, when you're doing like TV and network stuff, everything is by the book. Everything, the lines are the lines. Nothing changes. It is what it is. Whatever's written is what's gonna be done. As opposed to when you're on a film, you know, uh, I think the actor has a little bit more freedom, to explore, and use improv. And you're able to improv even if a word is different in the line. So I would say freedom is like the biggest difference. You have more freedom on a film to explore the character and improv a little bit more. And that's what I love about working on film. But TV is whatever's written, because everything is timed, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
whatever's written you know is what it is, you know what I mean? So
So I mean, basically, not to be critical or anything, but you prefer film opposed to, let's say, TV, because you have a little bit of freedom, like you said.
Nick, you know what, my brother? At this point, I'll take anything. You
I
know what
know
I
you-
mean? And I'll tell you why. We've been on strike for 6 months, man.
Yeah, I
You know what I
remember.
mean?
Hmm.
And we haven't been working. It was like one of the worst years I've had. Uh, but you know what, man? I take every audition, and whatever works. I don't care if it's TV, if it's film, commercial. If I'm right for it and I'm what they want, I'm gonna give them what they want. You know what I mean?
Of course. Well, have
So
you?
I like to work on anything. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, have besides TV and film, have you ever done any stage performances at all?
Uh, not. You know what? No, I never have. Only maybe like in school, like in public school, but that was about it. Um, then that was many moons ago. Uh, but no, and the reason being is, I did a lot of like an acting class, uh, stage, Nick, stage is it takes a lot of time. You know what I mean? There's a lot of rehearsals involved.
Hmm.
It's quite a few days a week. Not that I don't want to do it. I'd love to do it one day. It's just I don't have the time to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have the time to do like theater and stuff like that. I have a regular job. I still got to pay the bills, dude. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Tell me about it.
I'm not ashamed of it. You know what I mean? I work. You got to have a job. Because unless you're an actor, don't forget. I think it's maybe like 2% of the union works. You know what I mean? So you got another 98% of us like unemployed, like for long periods of time.
Hmm.
So, what are you supposed to do? As an actor, you got to hustle, you got to have a job,
Yeah.
and then, when the auditions come in and you book stuff, that's when you go to work. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
that's like one of the main reasons why, as far as, theater, you know what I mean? It was
Yeah. That
very
takes
hard
up a
for
lot of
me,
time. Yeah.
and I work, so it's like a little hard. I
Yeah.
prefer, and plus I don't want to, you know, I don't want to forget my lines on stage. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be real. I'm nah, but that's not a problem. I'm just, it's the timing thing, But I'm
Yeah.
very well rehearsed. You know what I mean? But I prefer film and TV.
Right. Well, you have done a lot of, not a lot, but you've done roles in the mob genre roles. You've done a lot. I mean, and were you ever afraid of getting, typecasted at all? Did that ever worry you?
Nick, I love the question. You know what? I don't care about typecast.
Okay.
And again, it goes back to what I just said. I'll audition for any role that they want me to audition for. I mean, obviously, you're not going to hire a guy like me to go play a brain surgeon. You know what I mean? I'm not your Shakespeare kind of guy, even though, I mean, it would take a lot of work, but you're not going to hire me to do Shakespeare, right? Uh, so as far as typecast, Nick, for me, it works because I'm just I fit that world.
Mhm.
Obviously I fit that world, and the villain roles. Um, you know, so if it works for me, it works for me. I don't worry about being typecast. You know what? let it come. I'll take all the typecast work that they got.
That's a good
I'm
attitude.
serious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the recent,
I just hold on, Nick. I just want to add. I
yeah,
want to add one thing. It's very important because I don't know. I hope actors watch. Some young actors watch this anyway. But the most important thing, I mean, for me, as far as the acting thing, um, you have to know as an actor your identity. You have to know who you are as a character. As an actor. You know what I mean? So that goes back to what you would just the question previously about being typecast. You have to know who you are. You have to know what world you fit in, and you have to know what you're good at. If you look at over the years, like an actor like Louis Guzman, I love Louis Guzman, right? And he was in a million, he was in a million movies, all character roles, but he's great, and he's probably worked more than a lot of actors that I've ever seen. As far as like this generation, great character work. He was in major movies, but it's because he knows who he is. You know what I mean? When you
hmm
hire Louis, you're gonna get that New York, Puerto Rican, funny, comedic. You know what I mean?
hmm
So that's the most important thing. As an actor, you got to know who you are, and wherever you fit in to that world, that's where you fit in. So if it's the mob world, if it's the cop world, if it's the blue collar roles, whatever it is, but you got to know who you are.
that's true. A good point.
Yeah.
Unless you're somebody like Pacino or De Niro or Harvey Keitel, who are character actors that can do.
Well, that's the top. That's the top 2%, Nick.
I know.
You know, that's the
Those
top two
guys,
percent.
they can play any role. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Um,
Well.
now, well, you've done something recently called Townhouse Confidential,
Yeah.
and you played Big Sal. I don't know. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I know it's very current.
Yeah. Townhouse. It was. We shot that like. I think it was 2021, like the summer of 2021. I was in it with my buddy Joe D'Onofrio, who I love. Joey's from my neighborhood. I got to work with him. It's like a romantic comedy that takes place in Greenwich Village. About this real estate developer who's trying to take over the village, and there's one house that's apparently not for sale, and it becomes some kind of a love story. You know what I mean? That's all. Go watch the movie if you want to see it. Go watch the movie.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it was like the first time, yeah, I played a goon. I played a goon, and but it was like almost like one of the first comedy kind of mob guys I ever played. You know.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I definitely want to check that out. But
yeah, it
did you?
was a good indie film. Good indie film. They spent money. All new faces, good cast, good kids. Very talented actors on that. And shout out to the director. Patrick Perez, good guy, man, good guy. A lot of good people. Rosalind, good people.
Where can we find that? Where we is it Amazon? Where we?
Yeah, I believe it's on Amazon.
Okay.
I
All
believe
right.
it's on Amazon. Yeah, check it out. It's a pretty good story. I mean, listen, it's a New York indie film, Nick. You know what I mean? So
Those are the
it is.
best.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
No, it's all good. Now you also, I understand, because not just your look, but you also speak Sicilian fluently.
Well, yeah, it was.
So,
It was my first language. Yeah, I speak Sicilian fluently.
wow.
Yep.
So I'm assuming that might have helped in some way with some of the roles, being that you speak another language.
Oh, I tell you what I did. When I had an audition for The Irishman, uh, I uh, I went in there. I had my sides.
That's right. You played
And,
Momo.
yeah, yeah, Giancana.
Yeah, kind
Um, so when I went in there, I did the audition. I used some Sicilian in between some of the dialogue that they already gave me. You
Uh-huh.
know. In other words, I threw everything at the, I threw everything. You know, I threw the kitchen sink at it when I auditioned for that. But yeah, I use it sometimes, and I use it when I need it, Nick. If I need to use Sicilian, I use it. You know, I it's just another weapon for me. You know what I mean? I'm able to do roles in full Sicilian if needed. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, mentioning that specific film, The Irishman, in that genre, um, I mean, it's been a while since any film like that has been out. I mean, The Irishman, I think,
Right.
was the last one that was in that genre. Do you think that type of genre is still popular with the public? Do you think people still like to see films like that, or do you think it's losing its value? It's losing its allure.
Nick, you know what? If you make something gangster, people want to see it. For some reason, there's a love and fascination for that lifestyle. You know what I mean? People are intrigued by it. You know, everybody, you know, everyone lives through those bad guys. You know what I mean? You know, like the audience, you know, when they see Pesci and Goodfellas, you know, everybody wants to, you know, feel like Tommy. You know what I mean? You know, so I think there's always going to be a love for that genre. Uh, you know, as long as the material is fresh and new and not played out, because at the end of the day, Nick, it's all about numbers, right?
Mhm.
So if there's 350 million people in the U.S., okay, and 600,000 of those 350 million like mob stuff, you know, that means there's a market. So you know what? There'll always be a market for it. There's always going to be numbers for that stuff. You know, if it's quality, you know, really good stuff with good actors in it. So yes, the, I don't think it'll be played out as long as the material is good.
Right, correct. Well, on another subject, wow, what is your take on? Because now, I mean, I just went to an event the other night, as a matter of fact, about this, and when I was in AFM about a year ago, the American film market in LA, this was also discussed when I was there. This whole advent of AI. Now, I know a lot of actors don't like it because it's you're using your likeness in a film and it's not the real thing. I mean, what is your take on this whole new venture?
Uh, you know what? You can't stop it. It's going to happen whether we like it or not. You know what I mean? AI, you know, it has its advantages too, Nick. You know what I mean? It's not like they could just take your stuff forever. You know, they could use you, you know, 20 years from now and, you know, put you in a film, you know,
Hmm.
when you were in your 30s, you know, when you're long dead. You know what I mean? Uh, so I think AI has its advantages. But you know, as long as the actors get paid for it, you know, if you use me and you know, I'm grateful. Just you know, do it the right way and pay me for it. You know, you want to use the actors, pay them. You know, it's only fair, right?
Was is that? I mean, because I don't know about how much. I don't know how much of that part. I don't know that much about that part where the actors are being compensated if they use their likeness. I mean, has that been discussed? Is that even on the table or no?
Well, you know what? It was part. It was a big part of the negotiations. You know,
Oh, that
between
was
Sam
right. Okay.
and the producers. And you know, I don't know all the details. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you something I don't know. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Uh, but we'll find out. You know what I mean? You know, we'll find out. But there's no way around it. You know, we can't stop it. They're gonna use it no matter what. You know, they've been using AI. You know, for all these special effects that you see on these Marvel movies. I mean,
Hmm.
you know, AI's been forget it. I mean, it's been around for a long time already. You know.
Right. Not to the level that they're thinking about going yet.
Well, it's
Right.
you know it's getting more advanced where you know they can do more things with it. Uh, but you know it's the future, Nick. We're in 2024 almost. You know,
Mhm.
and you know my only thing, you know, if you can't beat them, join them, right? So if you're gonna use AI, you're gonna use my name and likeness or whatever you want to use or any actors. Just pay us. That's it. Pay the actors for for their
Yeah,
name and likeness,
that's the
their
right thing to
look,
do.
and then it's good as long as people get paid. There's no problem. You know
That's
what I
correct.
mean?
Yeah, that's the right
Money,
thing to
money
do.
fixes everything, Nick. Money fixes everything,
Yeah, pretty much.
right?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. Um, well, before we end our show, can you tell us a little bit about what Al Linea's got coming up? Say anything that you're working on now that you want us to, that we should know about.
Yeah. Well, I in 2022, I shot this film in Rome called Deep Six. I play a villain. I had a great time on that film with the director, Scott Winhauser. I worked with Tom Welling. I had a great time in Rome. We shot a decent movie. It should be coming out sometime in 24. I
Mm-hmm.
would say like fall 24, Deep Six. That's the
Mm-hmm.
name of the film. I was like 32 pounds heavier for that role. Yeah, I played like this fat Italian villain gangster guy. Uh, so that should be coming out in fall of 24. Um, I have, I believe, Jersey Bread that I worked on, which is another crime drama based in Jersey. The film is based around this Jersey crew who uses new technologies in a sense to uh, to help them within organized crime. It's like in a great indie film, it's and the director, I believe he's shooting something else. Greg Russo, good guy. Um, and Jersey Bread should be coming out soon, hopefully by summer. Uh, and that's basically it, Nick. I got a couple of projects in the works as
Mm-hmm.
far as producing reality content. That I mean, right now it's Christmas time, and we're waiting. This is the slow season.
Mm-hmm.
So when things start popping off in January, February, March, which should be a very busy year, for actors anyway, because of the strike,
Right.
everything, built up. I plan to be busy. I mean, I have Jersey Bread coming out, Deep Six coming out. I was offered a couple of roles in some new projects that will be shooting, soon this year. And we'll see how it goes. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to it. You
Yeah, me
know,
too.
it's
But
I'm
just
looking forward to a
curiosity.
good 24.
Well, just curiosity. Jersey Bread you mentioned, is that a time period piece, or no?
No, no, it's present day,
Present
present
day.
day,
Okay. All
but
right.
it's not a New York mob thing. It's a Jersey mob thing. You know what I
Yeah, yeah,
mean?
yeah. Okay.
It's it's I'm not gonna say Soprano. You can't. No one could ever top Soprano. But it's an indie Jersey mob flick. You know what I mean? That's got a great storyline, and it's something you gotta watch and look out for. I worked with Gino Cafarelli on there, with Chris Tardio. He plays the lead. Uh, Lorenzo Antonucci, Sonny Marinelli, good guys, man, good guys. Sal Tesoro, good people. And the whole thing, Nick, in that business, right? With the indie films, especially, you get to work with your friends a lot. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And you develop these friendships throughout the years, and you work on different projects together. Sometimes multiple projects. And I tell you, there's nothing like working with people that you like to work with. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
And
Yeah.
so, that was one thing I enjoyed about, Jersey Bread. Sometimes these small indie movies, you have more fun than like, a huge like kind of studio movie. You know what I mean? Because, everything is tight knit. All the actors know each other. We're all from New York, and we worked on same projects, multiple times. So, that's what I love about indie film, man. You
Yeah,
know.
I agree. Definitely. So, like
So
when I finally get the funding for mine, you're in it, of course. We already discussed it.
thank you, Nick.
So,
Nick, you're a gentleman. Thank you for thinking of me. I would love to be in your film, man. I would love to. Listen, I, the moral of the story is, well, I didn't get to finish, the last thing that I said, but it's working with your friends. Working with people you like. You know what I mean? That's
mhm.
when your best work comes out. When you work with people you like. You
Oh,
know what I
100%.
mean? And I like you, Nick. So you know what? If once you get your film funded, and you want me, I'm there, brother.
I hope so.
Definitely, definitely.
Well, Al, thank you very much. We're quite up a time here. I definitely appreciate you coming on. It's always a pleasure. Good to talk to you again. It's been a long time. But I wish you a lot of luck and hope things go well. And we'll try to keep in touch.
Nikki, man, listen, thank you so much. Thank you, producer. I appreciate the love, man. Again, I know you're a long time, but yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out to that Joey Molino podcast, man. That podcast is hot. Listen, man,
I
I
hope they
love
get
I,
stuck in
I love
fun.
those guys. Joey Molino, a little slump, man. They got a great show, man. But Nikki, listen, Merry Christmas to you and your family and everybody. God bless, and I
Thank you.
appreciate you put me on, man. If I have something new to report, I'll let you know right away, brother.
Me too. Thanks a lot, Al.
All right, Nick. Take care, my man.
You too, my brother.
You got it.